everyone, doing something a little different. My first official how to draw digital drawing. So please bear with me. It's my first time drawing digital. I'm just practicing little strokes on the screen here and there. So hopefully it turns out good. I'm going to try my best and do it just like normal videos. I'm using Sketchbook Pro. I just got this and really good for light lines, and so far it's good. If you have questions about the tablet I'm using or anything, please ask, and let's get started with this. I have a reference here just for the eyes and face, and another reference here that you can see just for the body. I'm going to probably not use, and then here's another little reference. But to start with, I'm going to make the head. I'm going to try to make this more dynamic because it is a dragon. So for the head first, I'm just going to sketch in a box shape. There's one box shape. Then you're going to see the side of it. And you're not going to see it too much because just like with the cube, I'm going to make the head coming out towards us. About halfway mark is its whole mouth. So its mouth is this whole lower section. And right now I'm not going to do any detail. This is usually how I approach it. I'm just going to get the framework of what's going on. I'm going to make a line here. Let me see if I can slide the drawing down. That's much better. So I'm just going to start with the sketch. Then I'm going to make the neck kind of dynamic. Remember, we are dealing with geometric cube shapes, so I'm not going to make things too... Oh man, I just spit on the screen. Crap. I'm not going to make things too crazy in terms of the overall, but I'm going to keep it that basic shape, Minecraft box. I'm trying to keep it the best I can. So you're going to see a little bit of the side here, a little bit there. So I'm sketching, that's like the neck. And it's so important that you understand perspective, because when you draw these, it's all about, much like many other drawings, it's all about perspective. So the neck kind of enters in the middle, and there's another box here. So just make these lines, and these are just rough lines. Don't worry if they're not perfectly straight, it's just sketch. And then his torso, his whole body mass, pretty slim, but it goes about that far. So just like when you're doing perspective, I've got videos on perspective, it's going back up that way. And so lightly sketch that. The legs are going to be there. But his body is pretty big. So you want to make sure you capture the body. And then the tail, I'm going to make the tail look really cool and kind of wrap back this way and go this way. And remember, like I just said, you want to keep it rectangular block shapes. You can make it longer. That's going to be rectangular, kind of. You're going to see side of it here. So I'm making a little curves. Like I said, I want to make it a little dynamic pose. So you got that. The wings, here's where it gets fun. The wings, the best way to draw them, they attach kind of right in here and make a shape up. I'm not going to worry about making it too much like a cube shape, but one there. And then what's going on with the wings is, I'm just moving the drawing down. This is so amazing being able to do this. One wing there, halfway. There is about, say, 1/2 of this. I'm making a line here. That's 1/2. Then the other wing will come in. So the other wing's skinnier. So get this one, and then you can make it bend down so it's a little more dramatic pose. So just make this bend down. Holy cow, this is incredible drawing on this, man. And then same with this side. There's going to be a wing here, and I want to make this wing just about that one. So I'll make the wing here. And this drawing is going to take a long time. Let me make it a little lower so it doesn't cover the tail. We'll make this one bend down more. There we go. I'll make this one bend down. Keep it that dynamic pose again. Then come up. And this one, like I said, is going to take a while. It's a pretty complex drawing. But you have this. And then let's work on the head more. The neck, you want the neck to be pretty thick because it's supporting the head. Draw another cube shape. Make a line here, a line there. And the reason is the mouth is going to be open. Actually, make it a little longer so it doesn't cover the eyes. Because it's going to be open and up here, so you can make... Actually, I'm going to leave it closed because I don't want it to cover the eyes. Just make a line about right there where that half mark was. Make one. And then come back in. And it connects to the face. And it's going to have two nostrils on it. So one there. Then you can make the bottom one open. So just bring it in. I apologize, my lines aren't the best. I'm just, I'm getting used to drawing digitally, so but make sure they're about even. And you can exaggerate the mouth. Right now I'm exaggerating it just to make it even bigger. That's that. And then the wings, let me just check the reference. It should be 3. Yeah, see, 3 little marks. And towards this, it's smaller. So make, the way it's going to be arched, it's kind of going to arch down. 1, 2, and 3. And same on this side. 1, 2, and then 3. Make them skinny and kind of, they almost look like little leaves. So you got that part in. Then I'm gonna clean up these lines a little. Best advice if you're drawing on a tablet, which that's what everyone's told me, is you wanna zoom in a lot. Zoom in so that way you can do cleaner lines, because these lines aren't clean right now, but it's kind of sketchy pose. So from there, the legs, we'll get the legs and we'll do the details. This leg kind of stays here and it goes back like that. I'm not making the leg completely box shape. I'm kind of adding a little bit. And then you'll have the foot here, which is, foot's like a box shape. And you won't really see the other foot. It'll be kind of in this area. So it'll be behind it, like if I was drawing. So the actual foot would actually be somewhere in there. So you're not going to worry about that one. And the back foot, first draw this wing. The wing comes in like that, curves. Got to keep checking. It's always good, like I said, have a reference. But yeah, you can see these curve more, and then these curve a lot longer. They have a long, in other words, this space here and there is longer than this little space. That's a good way to remember when drawing it. This is so cool. Then another little wing there, then these long ones again, and these long. The reason I want to draw this digitally, because I'm drawing it big. Like, I mean, this is bigger, this whole thing's bigger than my hand, and plus I want to get into drawing digitally. It's pretty amazing. But then put one rectangle shape, kind of curve. In the game it's not really curved, but just for artistic purpose, make it a little curved. That's going to go back, then forward, and you have the back leg within here. lines to the toes. So let's really flesh this out. And top, they make a line about halfway down here. Then here. He has a lot more. Actually, I want to make these smaller. Just erase that. Let's flesh out this. The neck. Let me check on here. So it's got, see these little rectangular things? There's 3 on the main body. So let me get 3, and they're pretty skinny. So I'm going to use that middle line. Take your time. 1, then another will be about right here. Because remember, you're looking back. The perspective 2. And then 3. Just make sure they line up for the most part. The 3 of those. 3 marks. Then right here, you have the marks on the... You have 2 big marks here. So draw those shapes in. Just like that. And then another here. The horns. And start making the lines darker. I have to tilt my hand so I can draw these straight lines. All I'm doing is I'm making these lines thicker than normal because it looks like it's coming forward at you. So do that, make these lines thick. And now it's starting to take shape. I gotta get used to drawing a tower. But one little nostril thing here. Then another one. About right there. And then you can just erase that inside it. Then for the eyes, I found a reference. They look like 2 little L shapes. One kind of sits here. And then they're L shapes, but not really. And you want to make them look kind of mad. He's a mad dragon. So one there. Almost like those little Tetris blocks. Then another here. Then within them, the eyes have another L shape that gets a little darker. So something like that. Make sure the outline's really dark. Then what you want to do is just continue doing the outlines. I'm going to make the pupils dark, real dark, so they stand out more. Then you can make little mad eyebrow things. Then here is going to be dark. So then, once you get the main form, this is where the fun begins, because You start having fun with shapes and things. I'm just going to make this angle kind of curve. He's got the same little parts on here. Just make them curving different ways. You're not going to see everyone because some of them are behind the head. You know, like I said before, it's all about taking your time. Then make this line really dark, not too dark. But dark enough, it's coming up. Then make some lines on the side, because the neck is a bunch of cubes. Then another one. You could draw kind of light. I'm going to add some shadow in here. Add some shadow on these blocks. Jeez, I'm already 16 minutes in. I'm going to speed it up now and get the main body in. Just come in, make these dark lines. You want to make these lines on the body even darker because it's the biggest mass. It's so hard to make straight lines on this thing. That's the only problem at the top. I love it, but geez, it's hard. So you can go back, make these lines darker. Then let's get the wings in. You don't have to make the wings as perfectly rectangular. Make them a little more dynamic. They kind of end in a flat point. And these little shapes, pretty skinny. And make sure you get this pretty dark. I'm going to do the shading later for the finished thing. But ultimately, just finish up drawing these lines. But you can see the lines we started with. And towards the end, I'm just going to towards the end, I'm just going to add some finishing touches after the video just so it's not too long. You know, just go, all these sketch lines we made, basically just come back in and finish up, and then last but not least, we gotta get the tail in. The tail. Make these little marks in it. And with this, you don't have to make them as detailed, mainly because it's going back in the distance, so you're gonna see less detail. So just make little ridges, almost even circular shapes, half circular shapes, just to show they're there. And just finish up. And there you go. That's pretty much the finished Ender Dragon. I'm going to just finish the value and doing some things to it, but that's basically the basic form. Thanks everyone for watching, and you'll see the finished drawing in the beginning. Thank you everyone.